obeboa pa se upese u treat ho holiday yi udi yes salary se ye pedicure kakra ye manicure kakra we brekra wa kra wo hia massage wo hia facials bi o se trim wani achi na wo hu sa ti kwesi ada wo pia oluki gam pacho cause studio fix wo Jolo Dina special best pension trust woman Dina best pension trust woman no mu na studio fix so E Plaza 2 ubehuani se studio fix dai abronsan se fefe glass door kama uramu a ma no so anim te pa bi ni nuanom be show fefe na nso akoyo manicure no pedicure fefe na fe wa your facial no wa your massage na wo dia ko baby a pese wo ko fe 02029665553 and 024386971 024384671 024384671 na studio fix for and fix so won see na bibia enye kama emfa emau o madaroma na de last segment ibrewo and we are talking still PDS said ya no pamedi ka bo amane no last week AK eni openi Japamesa MP Asia ye na odi PDS eho enkomo isane ne ho a ewo one of the PDS companies ni mu eni ni dwumedi a wodi ewo munti unyanchemu edi efie ho na idie ye ne wonu mo ye nimdifo ewo enyinam ahoden ene ne nsensem na wo so akasa ede afasa PDS ensemi ho ene ye ne wo mu baako ehie IES Institute of Energy Security research analyst honom no ura Mikdad Mohammed onu na no pay ye ne no ehia na IES fo no wo maka PDS ensem no bebre wo mo eduru ba bi wo mo say Ghana kra yeti eye eni yakwati chese fraud okese pa full blown fraud. Ghanaians escaped a full blown fraud on the PDS brouhaha. Edru baby omusi PDS deal na nkasa no original deal no aban edenensa aka na aban edenensa aka no kwa ben so say the deal was what government altered original PDS deal for NPP cabals. And said the woman kabio and was a fraud weak partners for suspension of PDS operation. Actually say dream DB and ama buying say watching sa PDS jumedi na sensen. Say dream no so aban na anim. Ono anu ode ne nsa aka and watch ya de and said the be kwama NPP akuku dam ne atwotwo robi. IES for ya na kasa ansem we o maka ya ntina ene ye ne wo mu research analyst research ben wo ye a wo de asa no ye ne wo mu ba bedi eho enkomo no ena du ba because you ebedu ba bi no osum ebedu ye na nya asem keto afi say the ministry has lied about the source of power outages in Ghana ani nyina IES for no na eka enen so cra development for fraba Omo aya suspendi womo no eni asade adwuma na hye wonom ensa no asechire ne sei nti and still we are talking PDS fi sensem no ena ye kra Mikdad Mohammed wuti di na wuti mu se ukwesi ada wodi sala ena obekodwuma nti wafa no ti se de obekodwuma pepepe mekwa akogya no medu entrance pa no matwen no nti Mikdad ba de ka di sala
breka kade
boko die
me adum boko
se na obekodwuma bibia boko
dem ya se
Yeda se waje enso anope ya yebedi PDS Hong Kong yen hyase ewo new development ya abe honestly menti development na se boy yen na yen hwese ebi a mo mu nimde de mo beti ase a adwuma na ECG yen PDS yen ye suspend yen no ene ye si ECG be take over if it's ya suspend we mo enura PDS ni ECG ase aka abom the press release ya bre nsentro for immediate release adwumade ni take effect enra na edian ya onse ai said e beye na ye betumi asom ye nti ya sign the dwumade edidi sue e ama PDS se wo monye bailing se wo mu bre ye bills no say ye koto power no kra beto PDS for ho say wo de ne ye post wo kotua betua ma PDS see e be redo meter che say wo the problem bia kra wo bia no sign ko PDS so nti ano pay na mbisa say menti ase mi rampacha oti ase e che say
e we dem da say na ano pay me che ma hwefo em say Adekye with this new joint statement PDS for ECG releasing no Kamaya say we suspended in West, but in reality, no, the status quo, no, there, old arrangement, no, na asa about back. Sanachre. Na, an inchitri moon say, bra, ye suspended PDS, no, the informa ETS, and say, omoka brofu be say fundamental and material breaches, at a key place. Na, in order to protect our assets, ye suspended agreement, no. Na the intin so sa breach no so fundamental no ne say sa guarantee no ni ho a say ye wadeja we are operating PDS naked.
Okay.
Only guarantee be able fall on. Guarantee no ye okay me say be hwe ECG be ye ECG ho adwuma. Na ECG adwuma na obeye no betimi esi. Emfa no say betimi ato machines bi na ahye. Ana say o technician bi betimi akoye mistake bi na machine no ade set of na kobano say bibi say ba sika ben na yede be sa replacements no enti na wo say anka before the takeover no omoma sa guarantee no sa guarantee ni wo ho na bibi say sia Ghana ban betimi akọ bank no ho say answer na yede ECG be PDS for answer no omo de krata no ba say bibi sia yembe jiska no mo ho
okay
enti say sa krata no ye fake e kire say bibi si na wo say Ghana ban ekoje ni sika because guarantee no enye realistic.
Oh, na me ka say insurance guarantee and so ye good no say a guarantee and I say a form of guarantee.
A form of guarantee.
And I know the intumi enye adwuma no.
Oh no, it me adwuma no, but ye wo the entia original agreement no ye ka say no bank guarantee. But a PDS form penny for omunni musika sem wo form enti no mo corre negotiation say and renegotiation no cry or sanka no mo parliament because parliament na approve bank guarantee no enti na nka say opese yesemu mawa or say o call back to parliament na o sere mrahebedwa for say agreement no say anka mefa bank guarantee embra bank guarantee from an international reputable banker all parties agree on na mum no me call ye no mentimi anka mensanka bank guarantee no na metimi aye no insurance. But be it as it may, no more agree say okay, omo fa insurance number. Na omenya insurance no, and a banker say with the lack of insurance no, it will mean that they are operating at a risk.
Okay.
So risk no ye. In case one say power industry no ye very technical. Sometimes crapete to marginal line back also. Na etse. Na a whole area will be in darkness for a while. Sometimes it just miss transformer. Entini na ye part of the infrastructure na ye guarantee say BBC or say a fallback idea it will not come to zero. We'll have something to rely on. And also the other reason for the bank guarantee and say oh the entire ye the concession no eba and a car was system no ECG ya de biomoboka 2018 in terms of system losses omoboka by 23% of their revenue. It means commercial transmission and trade losses no as a power no offer from one point to the other answer na go do the other point na 23% aira
dada
enti na enunti na yede PDS for no eba enti one of the reasons for that guarantee they said yede oba na still e kanu ba ho a there should be a guarantee we can fall back on to pay the debtors because IPP for no if you don't pay them they will hold power. So if we get to a point that OG revenue no ba untimi to IPP for no car the bank guarantee no and a bank be fall back on to pay the IPP so they can draw money from it. Intina bank guarantee no de hu hia pa. Na ene ya ka say the PDS abano. What is happening is that the guarantee is still not there. The guarantee and Chese guarantee no about guarantee no it is still not there. But in West, yes, you are suspended. If you look at the litany of duties, it is they are doing the same thing they were doing. But before then, na ejuma we na nanka ECG for na eso mo ye. Na in terms of major maintenance, say major maintenance bi ba na ehun hia expertise na ye the PDS for aba. Even though they are on suspension, they can play that fundamental rules within the system, but the suspension will have still been in place. And the other reason for the suspension, and I say, you are protecting your money.
Okay.
Because on only guarantee, you can't hold no the
But say you protect this Canada. O share krata na Ministry of Finance choye na ode suspend your mono case ECG take you over. Or chair say PDS because so operate existing bank accounts. Afen so checks any cash bia no. Yebe ombetua to PDS accounts na PDS into na accounts anymore. Mema PDS staff bia and keep cash any check bia no. But na sika bia no. Ebe cost to PDS accounts only
exactly.
That was say mrano no. Was say PDS for brief ECG. And as one person mo ye financial transaction bia our account anymore. Was say omo approval every ECG.
Exactly.
And even suspension ne buy no. So now kasika semne dey with PDS in some that. It's really bibian share dances.
That letter was a letter on 6th August.
Yes.
The Finance Ministry.
Yes, from the Finance Ministry,
exactly.
6th August.
Now, I know you're at the highest level.
Okay.
In terms of the revenue collection. And even with the whole brouhaha, what was even evident from the very beginning, and they say the same 6,000 staff strengths, I PDS, just renaming. Because no staff has lost his job. It's basically the same staff that ECG was using. And I feel the amount of PDS and Tariashe. And for when it comes to even the staff, it's basically the same staff who are working.
Okay.
But they're not trying say, oh yeah, with the new management, we were expecting that Sika PDS for Adekye so far, right from the very first day of the concession, because in this case we can say the concession, the 5 months or more run ECG, illegal running of a sort, kind of, because the bank guarantee, the Abana bank guarantee, it means that we shouldn't have even given you ECG in the first place. Or
the insurance guarantee nearby.
Or the insurance guarantee. They make say with that one being fake. It meant that we shouldn't have even handed over ECG to them in the first place.
Okay.
With that one not being certified. Okay. I want to say, Obefro aeroplane, Ako, I want to say London. Now, checks, it is required that they check your luggage. Say, your luggage no be being. Now, a buyer, then you check, no be so. Checking with them, with the minimum, no, say, we need to be on Mrs. Boni. Afi ofro could do hydro, for example, na omo na say in rubone wo bag numa. So the sobobebo nipa no or wave off. Sa check no. And only the AC. And to say on bank guarantee embra and as insurance guarantee. Na or the buyer be mostly 27th, 28th.
Okay.
Na the following day you hand over without getting authorization on the authenticity of the guarantee you have received. It means that later, I say guarantee you faker. Handing over all the man no crown. And what's the anchor? Or the man one dimple. So without certifying, say guarantee no your
question. Be me who said that Chimenya no ye free and renew for, but I don't know. Say, to wait to me a boy. Yes, say, who sign contract? Now contract, breach room. Na breach a fundamental. Not just a contract no ni hini ne fapem. The ma contract ni timujina ne naso. Se inform so ba ho anase niema ankoyi wo ho a ene enu ye nyina so a emremu kra mrama ho kwan se ne bo contract ni gu. Na che say contract no kra ye void.
Valid, enu the valid, but the reason
here is
valid. A valid argument. Say
a valid
argument. Contract. No, in this case no.
And yes, I don't want to go on the tangent of fraud. I want to go on the tangent of Openiko Jopon Chroma say fundamental breaches. Once breach no fundamental no, it goes to affect the basics of the contract. So Enka enye yesa Babeka say, look, because of this fundamental breach, affected the root of our contract. And see abrogate instead say Becca say suspended.
Oh, and from the very beginning, as part of the lease assignment agreement, they anticipated some of these developments. So when it arises, this is the process we should follow to either terminate or suspend.
Okay.
And Ona or follow through with the suspension. But what we have, the issue of fraud, I may say, ora me una ide eno beka ho say fraud. I know dey na you cannot as an individual declare fraud until it has been.
But Wakasa, he will prove it. One of the papers, unfortunately, I don't have it here.
No,
Wakasa, he will prove why he said there was some fraud.
For us in civil society, in say breach because so.
Okay.
Now, breach because is that breach fraud? Is it possible that some misrepresentation took place? Now, if there were misrepresentation, in what way or manner has it affected the entire contract? Yeah, the question is. I
said, "I'm also fraud. No more crime
No, we are
because
no.
You people said fraud, and then weak partners for suspension of PDS operations. See, Monsuma used to fraud in
No, and you use fraud in court. Because one say court beer and so say PDS for fraud.
Okay.
But say for guarantee genuine, but now the fake one bar. It smells like fraud. It cries like fraud. It looks like fraud.
Oh, okay.
That is basically it. But it is investigations which will confirm finally that actually this is what took place. But we knew for a fact, say, the guarantee was not in place. The guarantee you brought eventually turned out to be fake. And if it is fake, it is a semblance of fraud. But going forward, what we have held strongly, and say finance minister, information minister, for example, because there were fundamental and material breaches. We thought that if there are fundamental and material breaches, there is no way you come back with a joint statement, transferring back the parts of the agreement that you said was going to be taken over fully by ECG now to PDS corporates.
I'm really astonished.
Say, your fundamental breaches, your material breaches. Now, in the words of Mr. Peter, me wonu kwa doka osisupi. Ye de can say fraud. But no need no. Oka say a fraud. One cannot say be say a fraud. The deputy William Orekoedu ka say a kababi ena aye oma scheme say on BCC or my Ghana.
Okay.
On those sisu cancer.
Okay.
And if after all of this, yes, sorry, who said let it be about say, I didn't almost say suspended. No, I say we have suspended it in West, but in terms of the work, as I about back to the old arrangement, it then appears that suspension, it was a knee-jerk reaction. It was not well thought through. Say, when the issue came, what is the best course of action? So after suspending, now you have an afterthought. Say, maybe we didn't act right. Maybe we should have thought that the work must continue or something. Then now we are doing U-turns.
ECG akade obetimi dia ye niema na ye kan se onye na ko se bia ye kan bi so no oni akade no enti no hwe no mo say well monopoly say ECG me ya oni akade no so then give it back to PDS.
No, with the coming into force of the PDS agreement na eno interest na ECG for they cease to exist to no mo ho but na dwumedi omo ye asset holding company na e ba no say yemfa power yenko Cote d'Ivoire Burkina Faso Togo exporter na ECG for na omodi hu ejuma. And I don't forget say ECG no they are only managing the southern sector.
Yeah.
Some parts of the country. The other part is managed by NEDCO. In any case, we still have a system in place that could have executed whatever needed to be done.
Sir, nti Ojuin Senka NEDCO by their name no mo ye Northern Electricity Department and Senka so can you say ye besan aka say ECG may take you over no kai ye betime ka che NEDCO for say come and take over.
No, I know there ain't possible sir because of infrastructure and urban manage. And the reason why it was easier for them to fall back on ECG and say we ejuma ECG for a year. And just 5 months ago, they were in charge of the system. So bringing them back
to run from bailing, meter reading, revenue collection, and you need to know PDS phone.
Not for much of the suspension. I think we are dwelling on this for a while. The much of the suspension. ECG staff no 6,000 staff strength no yamo matare for sale o de monche na the only difference is the additional staff at PDS for a recruit based on omo staff appraiser ehun say staff no yebeto ye no ma hondi nie na yebehia new staff to occupy this or that position no more de abeka ho. That is the only difference. But for the much of the staff omo psychology no mentality na ye ECG mentality.
Okay.
And no staff had lost his job because of the takeover. So it is simply say and for say we rather worry no biom. That is just what took place.
It's a suspension and yes suspension, a suspension.
Suspension in West.
But me therefore, ena almost supervise who say daily BBI cop talking. One who say sing krata seman ko ye di and I say Oman no mwejume. But en me therefore so the Omanu yaba. As if say no munim say PDS ni CGD to joint release neighbor. Me therefore so akasa omasa omo kan say omuntaka all necessary documents. And they went through thoroughly. Omokasa knew all necessary documents, and then they did a thorough check. So in the wake of science and some way, every place we
were. The resource is what we are discussing today. Sanka Mida for Ministry of Finance, for Ministry of Energy, for Ayo Mejumeya and Kane.
Oh, but I want to mean cancer. Mida for your Mayo Mejumeya.
The resource is what speaks for itself. And the resource is that we are here discussing alleged fraud. Because someone didn't do his job well. And for example, Osha, na concession, I was say it's December 2018, handing over. Now was saying December 2018. But Moshe ya guarantee November.
Okay.
Other conditions I was meeting. And I'm 2 months more. Say February 2019.
Okay.
Be handed over. February no by still in Niho.
Okay.
And after the call match.
Okay.
Enti se match no nipa no a no guarantee na onya December no wenya February wenya March no da bro 28th March 28th February the following day now hand over mano you should have even known from say they were having problems.
Okay.
They couldn't raise it in December. Now handing over say handing over PDS so now was say December 2018. NC.
Okay.
Ni na we ka ho bi eno sa guarantee no ka ho bi na guarantee no mugu so ye negotiation me hu krata between MIDA, PDS and Finance and Energy Ministry. They were negotiating the terms and also
omo negotiate terms
omo negotiate terms say you say sa bank guarantee no munya they have tried, they are not getting it because the tariff methodology is not out. The tariff no be sure ehun say e benye sika say afebia na ida kochire bank no na bank no aka say okay based on this bema musika na mo de akwa guarantee no ba eno na eni ho
okay
entina omuntimi nya bank guarantee no ntomo sere say ye ma omon fan guarantee no nya insurance because eno be serve the same purpose.
Now was it not a good reason?
Well, I know the Mrashibejafo no agree on bank guarantee no mo de mojina so ntimo ya bank guarantee because now physical cash will be more preferable than an insurance with a reinsured insurance.
Insurance with reinsured insurance.
Omo ko down well hokoya insurance and down well for so eko reinsure mo insurance with Alkut.
And say obia here that support no
support before because the conditional lease assignment agreement no chire no they couldn't no insurance company in Ghana can meet it because insurance companies in Ghana capitalization we be 50 million.
Okay.
And so we are talking about $360 million here, not even Ghana cedis.
Yeah, Ghana cedis.
Enti unya local one no ono A+ ranking rating ono umiti. Enti ono we are no akope the umiti rating no wa insure. So as of December PDS could not meet that condition. And other condition they were supposed to also meet was that say shareholders 51% or say why 51% shares. They were requiring them to show that they have brought the capital equity as shareholders. And on as an MP can Japan can ho asem de den and bufu gidigidi ni say oye insurance or say what oye company or say what of 51% equity ewo PDS mo and now 21 or 51% and companies back 28 back 10 back 10 13
okay
I was say enye numbers can natural about din ho esika I was say we investing
okay
enti na MIDA was requesting for cash proof say sa equity shares no ometua ama eda ho
in the
form of pro forma invoices
edru
sa they couldn't meet all of that. So as at December they couldn't meet it and there are letters to that effect. As at February handing over no and I'm say emom bosomi back on fanka on by first March no hand over enti we na want me meeting na 28th February Now for the guarantee about gidi. No, the best thing was cool if you need a 1 month.
Guarantee ni na enye de ubisa ye say bank de.
Na enye bank first of all bank de o se onibi.
Yeah.
I feel say insurance. Insurance not the buy no. One show ni minimum answer na hand you over. You just handed over and said you now.
So mo de ba 28 na hand you over amount
first match.
Nti se wo ti se Mikdad fata omo kan se Mami Nkoti omo se Mikdad says they have defended the ECG PDS concession agreement, stating all the necessary documents on the deal were thoroughly scrutinized and due diligence done to safeguard the interests of Ghana. Now, Uba Bewiena, or say as an institution, Mikdad works within stringent governance structures that meet international standards. Mikdad has thus asked the media and social commentators on the matter to check facts before commenting on the issue, which is currently under investigation by the government. What's here, Ubeka saying?
Same way, what is the end for all of this? And one say, you hand over my ECG. Edi ECG share PDS for answer. Edi show musano. What came after was a fake guarantee. So if there's a fake guarantee to discuss today, it means that this is merely English.
The Mikdad for Kano.
It's English.
And English. Make me actually much amount.
They make and say, yes. Also my ejuma.
Also my ejuma. Omo shenkra temu pepe.
And I say,
enti say ye ni u say ye di nkomo ye di a yen share your facts in yen kan.
And I make us a fact and say at the end of the day we are dealing with a fake guarantee. And the fake guarantee nanka you ejuma ya. Anka ever say
February fake guarantee. Abai say breaches fundamental material breaches.
Eventually we have seen letters from Al-Qut. Say guarantee no invalid.
Were they asking a question or they were saying for a fact?
It was stating as a fact.
Okay.
Al-Qut for almost 16 July letter no. Say guarantee no enye papa. Fit for purpose. Just say be 2 ECG.
Fit for purpose.
Exactly. Enye fit for purpose.
Yes.
It be 2 ECG na oka say o insurance or now be this ka o pamo.
So mo mechanic keke abanji tu musa nko nka say obe mo manko akọ.
No, I know yeah, just to verify and confirm what is in the letter already.
Okay.
And basically say Mikdad focus say o ma yejuma no year. Na ene we are discussing a guarantee they took on 28 February that they didn't check and handed over on first March. It means that something went wrong. I don't remember example of aeroplane here. You say check it, one check it. Okodu na ya che na say mombo mabaso maya there. That is the issue under discussion. And we thought that
so you think they were not meticulous? They were very meticulous.
When this discussion we are having, we should have been having this discussion in January 1st if PDS had submitted the guarantee earlier.
Okay.
And because they didn't submit it earlier, there was nothing that prevented. Say at the end of December now say Yanfanko February. February do you say Yanfanko March. And to be the guarantee about what prevented you from even deferring the transfer to even April for you to verify the guarantee before you and stand what hand you over. So PDS now I mentioned with you I'm sure for the part of the whole discussion. You who say ohona sa alleged fraud no everything no.
Okay.
First, you say what to shares or shares. Unyentu ya hunti guarantee no. If Osha Al-Qut letter no much 16 July no. Almost say sa premium I will say yentuya. That for the guarantee. Other versions of it said that the agent was not a credible agent. He was not authorized to act in that respect and so on and so forth. But Osha the ya. Now I say first shareholders equity anyhow. Second, bank guarantee anyhow. The insurance guarantee. And lastly, the managers of the system took over ECG and hoping to collect revenue. And say, "I can't for the ECG that no." Omoji enwa na omodi aba abecha Ghana ban say, "Sikana mo sanka yentu equity no enie." Ebranka these monies were monies that you should be bringing in fresh cash to invest in the system. But oba na afi I can't for the ECG that no. Na odi DH3 ahua like you were in alacrity chasing old debts. When you collect old debts,
then or the kokwasa
or the kokwasa chasing old debts. or G old devs no na or the old devs no abetire Ghana buying say equity na motim intuan
okay
and no na
so that's your speed pa
with the semblance of the fraud system because and no sankasa na easy janka me metima ye bi
nti kadada
exactly won say na kroboland for the police for ejijisika na ejiji revenues na ejiji revenues omojiji we are na they aban Ghana aban say oh equity na mo say contribute no enunye when that is not what was at stake. We were expecting that you were bringing in fresh cash. O de wa usika $580 million eba. O de no be we are na America buying at the $486 million no at the back home.
Okay.
And it will not be free money. You also invested, but US government can loan a grant.
Okay.
And won't back.
Okay.
But no. Omo de count say be ya sa losses na make am wasem no. Say distribution losses in the system no. Omo plug in no. Now the system will be more efficient, you get more quality power, efficient power, and then those who are managing the system will not make losses. Until over time, by the end of the 20th year, no, so $580 million investment, they will get their money back.
Inti sa si kadada na omudi speed ko jeje ye ni ade no anything na mamu IES for na mo ka say government all said the original PDS deal for NPP cabals na
and kwa de yan kanu MPP cabals.
Okay, that's headline by
Ghana Web for other journalists now. They insinuated because maybe they know a Japamesa, for example, Honorable MPP ni. So they will on their own fix that. But we did not even mention anyone's name in our. What we knew is that, for example, companies be a local concession. Companies you know the same day, for example. Bako yete no Miracle winning concession no April no June. And June 2018 and a company no. Now a month afterwards we winning 28%. We winning 13%, Bako winning 10%. Bako so Cretino 2014 June. A creative company no on you may be just like and so we on term special eyes until we in he has said that in the name of business on filing tax return he has not employed anyone or anything. Then the first business they do is to win 28% concession in ECG. Now they can say with companies of this record, how can they raise money for guarantee? How can they be able to invest $580 million? To say zero. Zero.
Compare to Miracle no na
Oh, Miracle, a 116 years old company. Their annual turnover, even though in terms of the concession, team no Miracle na low because Osha Tata company, NL, Vala, ebinum annual returns assets over $300 billion.
More energy sector.
Energy sector no more juma, including Miracle and BXC and others.
Okay.
Into Miracle, for example, annual assets, any turnover in Abe almost $7 billion.
Okay.
Oko Philippines control by about 40-50% of the market. They are still expanding.
Energy.
ECG or Philippines.
Okay.
Miracle no.
Okay.
Manila Electricity Company.
Okay.
Into Philippines now kasa ope ECG a Miracle office.
Okay.
For example. And in terms of
Philippines one or more operator and I say more other countries so more energy.
My contract for Rwanda.
Okay.
Any Burundi that.
And also energy.
Experience one the more because they have the African experience as well and your Philippines pay.
Okay. Until the amount to say 3 other companies you
no
my energy adwuma ni bi da more energy adwuma no hunim dia no mo betimi ama the needed and necessary efficiency aye hwehwe.
Debbie. Unfortunately no. Omu na zero. Na eno na mida eye ho window dressing. Omu si o Ghana for we were not in need of someone who had technical experience. We needed someone who had money. Media statement because they have seen that we in civil society were hammering on that. Say, media and family who say, Obefa local company. They kind of now the previous government made it 80% for foreigners.
Okay.
20 for local partners.
Okay.
But when the change of government came, the government said they wanted 51% for locals and 49% for foreigners. And we agreed with them. We were praising them because it is the best. Okay. Prominent power distribution company, no, he doesn't owe allegiance to you, for example. But the problem arose in the selection of the local partners. Say, Anka, I can't local partner. Yes, I don't even, as I said, I don't have a problem even if we select relatives of the president to take over. I don't have a problem so far as they meet the qualification, because the most important thing for every Ghanaian who is watching today is say also light remember.
Yeah.
Say or software problems over billing or complaining and they will solve it. That is what is the aspiration of the Ghanaian. They must say company first. You say they must meet some specifications. They did not meet those specifications in terms of say ejuma benomaya in the energy sector. 2014 yati company onye ejuma biada. But 2018 we winning contract 28% of PDS. Second company, April 2018, Miracle are winning a bid. Say they are now managing the power sector. They needed local partners. June. Now, your critical company.
June 2018 or 2019?
2018.
Your 2019 move.
We winning contracts last year.
Okay.
June 2018, now we winning contracts. Say, like 3 months old companies, 2 months old companies. Now, their mom, fine, no problem. Now, the test of their capacity was in raising the guarantee. That was the better say. Even though I'm 2 months old, 3 months old, I'm not raise guarantee. No, I'm not trying to say I'm pa. They are qualified, but they couldn't raise the guarantee in December. They couldn't raise it in January. They couldn't raise it in February. They say March no crano. And no abasem. We are discussing the guarantees, and they were now forced to take over ECG and use ECG's assets to raise money to pay, which is like robbing Peter to pay Paul. And I've always maintained that if this is how it was, if this is how it was supposed to be, anyone can do it.
But say Mida say woman say Nidia no crawl or can cram so no see raise home questions there. But almost cry as your munya advisors momutu omo for international advisors, law firm makesi and then kratani be cried ya but say sika or no muje ye cram so nye sika ketwa one IFCB any Hatton and Andrews Keith international law firm no. Enti woman no so a future ben womo de maye Emma Midansu enya mu gidie ni arechemu, we pay them that huge. Nothing they have.
In the first place, no IFC omo concession.
Okay.
A bra US government they can say ombe maisika. Na US government so once no be maisika no, they will give you some conditions because omo say in kitasheni proenti sika no betima bana.
Ya nchiro de fire.
Na sika no it is mismanaged. So you have to bring in private person into ECG before they give you the money. And IFC say IFC omonchre the right way to introduce privatization, and all my 3 options.
Okay.
They can lease, say lease ECG. They told me no contract management, and they told me say concession, and concession we eventually agreed on. So when what do you call it the concession came to pass, IFC has been advising throughout the process until the guarantee matter came, and guarantee eba 28th February. Ona enfan say UTV muna we IFC na ban adikan your timetable say me hand over first match. Now we are IFC na guarantee number 28th February, and you don't have the power to stop government of Ghana from continuing with the transfer. Is it not? Would it not be dishonest for you to turn around and blame them, say they did not do due diligence? When you prepared your timetable, say, Keneke, first match, me hand over. Guarantee number 20th.
10 KB almost in a form was key advices. And Tabi and committee me to a band for say, well, say, Ubetia India, you who say, until first match, handing over no dear. Kabia dream who be. Bibi sounds with you more about.
For that, I'm not aware. For that, I'm not aware.
And to say, be a one. Enti no say to me for anaya fa say be gina mutu for nabwa enti so ya ade bi no ye ne troka na wan kan ne so ka say to say ya di nkomo ya nam say wo worry that ye we energy mu ne say bra eno waba to say bibi ne e kana say chia no wan ten na ka say ne say Mikdad so wa wow enti o kan hu bi.
No, the whole point is even if IFC had the opportunity to advise, they will have only advised from the 28th February going.
Oh really?
Because the guarantee came on 28th February. Even we say about 27, 4 p.m. And the advice, no. The advice could have only even come after they had seen the guarantee and assessed it.
Okay.
Before they can advise. The guarantee no more ba obviously Mikdad for say about 27th na about 4 p.m. now more yapon and the F1 said 28th na ebaye now from the 28th going wow where the council and the circulars I a media press statement in the last week of February now say oh first week of, and that's at that time and that is the point too that's at that time
if you say at the time no they are official no some kind so Argentina omu contem ko ye meye handing over meye sabra na ne
and no creative impression my say a camera say na there were some people who were interested in bending the rules slightly to favor PDS.
Adena MCA for now omo boy no omu gina ye kon so say we have to hand over and I say was such changes ne cause ntina na Mikdad for no so pentem na
ona timelines no na abemum timelines na abemum na abempa but na the most important thing is you don't sacrifice your principal distribution asset because of timelines.
So one hand over and the time na timeline no so close no and den na ko be alternative be na nke wo.
Well, they could have applied to MCC again. Because we have done that before. You apply to them and explain why things happen the way they happen because you don't sacrifice due diligence in the name of being in a hurry.
Okay.
Because due diligence is there to check the mistakes that can potentially cost the entire concession.
Okay.
And just one mistake, we've suspended an entire concession just because of one mistake. And he said, oh yeah, due diligence. Due diligence comes in after you have received the concession,
okay.
the guarantee, the insurance guarantee. You are anticipating the insurance guarantee next week, be fake, and I say be real. Let us go ahead. It is only after you have received the guarantee that you can do due diligence.
Okay.
It will be our no guarantee. No, I keep emphasizing say, if I were sitting there, and I don't envy the people over there. If will be a guarantee no December, no train bank guarantee minya insurance guarantee train December January when you 2019 February 2019 when you're not last day of the month or the bar. You have reasons to even do better due diligence on this one than even when it was submitted in December. Because there are clear lines to show that there were difficulties. But I can say, I was saying about Abayabasumum.
Okay,
very importantly, Abasbono say, we our implications. Our implications for politics and all of that. Say, Waka say, there was some who due diligence 1 year after you suspended. It has political implications.
Okay.
Even though we know, say, pressure being so kahombi, U.S. government needed the Trentina, Emma buying so PA, but they could have chosen to play hide and seek and manage the issue. But they came out boldly and pushed the concession aside, and things have been so far. The indications are that they want to do the right thing. The only problem we have will have been the composition of the investigation team. Say, investigation team are Ministry of Energy kahon, Ministry of Finance kahon, Mikdad for kahon, and then any investigation team, a self-correction team. Because omo no mudi di nimna umfumsono baye.
Okay.
And a investigation. Na ebana say na
the na obe prefer say why mo na komo investigate.
We should get independent parties in here. You have yes, there are insurance people part. You get experts outside the purview of government for them to be part, because Mikdad, it operates under the office of the president. CEO appointed by the president, board appointed by the president, members out of 11, 8, EU, Ministry of Finance.
Yeah, can't decide. Yes, any investigation team, Corona and Sokra, independent one, and better still more report because the same company.
The F1 say, Upolia, what's original on no so original.
Yeah.
But eventually, you must know that Upoli was say.
Okay.
And you are willing to correct that particular anomaly. But say the same set of people, it's not likely. They may be fair, but it's not likely that they can be referees and footballers in their own matches.
Okay.
And also, in Dimboasa.
And Shadam, Papa.
And I won't say sometimes about so someone say, Mikdad for the US government for their. And then Mika say, Anka say concession no profit about 9.5 billion. Wanka. Ubeka say, Mikdad abai net say office of the president.
I say Mikdad abai no constitute here.
But I won't say, in Pembe no. Eka say Mikdad abai because I am na banti. Oh, Mikdad nya abai US government for their sana been for no account, but anka profit na ba na say oh concessionary no profit abama Ghana for ni age oh hona man for better say section 5 of the Media Act no office of the president is in charge and so on and so forth.
But we even have a Media Act.
A Media Act. And now quite problem into be a train home fee. Oh, there be Media no US government for na no there no cre. No cre. But we expect say Bano say oh yeah investigation na. I was say investigation encouraging a better why less ama future governments in such concessions. Because concession we second compact. It's possible that we can have a third or fourth compact because Oko US they have a bad year because na kamba baby say near omo ya ma ye nyina said ye be ya o man no betimi atum point development ye hwehwe but omo dey fa ye energy sector and through power supply ni ade no na fe o man netimi atum point sa sinto ananse chemato nkitenkiti ni apopapo ya abemwe ai beka say discrepancy ebe ma ahye omo kran ama yenya sa support no I says yenya no from MCC phone ho and then Ghana Kasano this development now how is it going to affect us economically? We are first of even 6 programs are Media phone MCC phone no year we electricity ECG operational and financial turnaround and only one of out of 6 more the in terms of regulation or more the in terms of access to power or more the Nedco. Once a way ECG for the Nedco phones we are southern parts of Ghana. Nedco phones or more dear strong coin and also a woho. Ain't say a bano say, oh, yeah, we now young from so now cut in civil society catch or say. I was say, oh, Oshana, oh, ye now my US government who say a genuine mistake. And I say a chronocran said will because of boy watching a song. Na ama omanya nkranhya akoso akoye diakano nemum se ba no sana wo ye I say oh kata neman so because we are here because of lack of transparency o sha munye fine emun da ho fine say companies 2 months old company one mom we bidding process no some way somehow I know them I don't discuss it because BXC court Emma court rule say omunni kwan say so I don't even discuss it but also the way and manner things have been done up to this point, I say it is not actually clear and transparent in a way that it will inspire confidence in the system. Transparent and clear. In the way and manner we selected the local partners. Say I've told you say Ebano say selected local partners. Media and just say I was happy that for once a government thought that it is not fair for you to give 80% of our assets to a foreigner. Nkrumah wouldn't have done that. No president who put this country first would do that. So what could you have done? Give the local partners the opportunity to have a larger stake so that where we have voting rights even at the highest level, Ghana can have a say. So we have 51% minimum. Okay. But how do we select the local partners? Do we just select Obia, when we say, oh, yeah, dear minimum no. Oh, they are budget 28 fako. Even though we need but do you know for a fact how I selected those 3 local partners? The claim, and that is why I say it's not transparent. The claim is that they were selected on merit. Because I think that if we have a pool of companies, maybe some of them have worked in the power sector before, some of them have turnarounds, even $100 million, for example. I will not go and select a company which has a stated capital of 100,000 Ghana cedis. At the Moko Research General Department, you can go and check the records. A company with a stated capital of 100,000 Ghana cedis. Obi aye share be $580 million dollars ne capital ikita 900,000 Ghana cedis. The all capital kese cry 1.5 million Ghana cedis. I know ye honorable Ejapamesa company no. No, your secretary, Emma board, na say or a director, company. Or a director, or directors, no, or some a company secretary or a company lawyer. Emma, TG Power Limited, no. Okay. And say, I don't know the caliber of companies that applied for. Then you end up selecting local ones, no more call, you know. No more, yes, saying. Eventually. But what's your process now? If you love this country, and you know what is at stake. You won't hand over 51% stake to such companies with the qualification, because the most important thing is we get the work done. Not about selecting people we are familiar with. It's about getting the work done. Because many Ghanaians don't care who is in charge. What they care is that they have affordable power. They have
time,
and all of that.
Yeah, can you say what do you make of the krata beche na is opposition for Nikita almost say later Minister of Finance choice say omo constitute all purpose vehicle. Enti the three companies in Nunya omo 51 your Musan family ni ensan constitute na yenche. I don't know say one who saw letter ni
me who saw letter no. Even that letter no, in the actual scheme of affairs, we in civil society, if we were to be, if we were not to be mischievous, or we could have been petitioning MCC by now. But the implication is that what letter come MCC which may affect never be brave. US government to begin to suspect almost every single thing within the transaction. So you have to give government a chance to do the right thing.
I didn't know
MCC for now concession way na your idea.
Okay.
95 IMX for move to the idea say any concession, but because of some conditions okay. And I MCC for bar say ma musika say yedi kama mo first one muda yejuma mo de sisi be 1200 that support by 1,200 farmer-based organizations. You see 347 kilometers of road, including N1, as part of the compact. But there are irrigation projects, about 4,000 hectares. Then I say for into my idea, the second one ever.
Okay.
The second one na bano, the power sector no. The power sector na sana the beba mono. Mo select companies. Na any private companies. They inform on how we select it.
Okay.
But they are interested that the money doesn't go into private pockets. And that the person you are giving it to is not only collecting their money, but is also adding his own money to what they are giving him. Because on more than on own back.
Okay.
But if the process of selecting these local partners is fraught with questions, we can go back to them and tell them, MCC come on ban companies na almost stories ni enti ebeya anka mombeshim but eba no saa
na onyi ni se nkomodie bebebe ekosi yo moate
say eno de it will be informal what struggle krata so
what
kra on say so I say na
okay
enti what petition now the company registration documents ekeka ho edim penifo proof akeka ho omusika semu or more experience that they can where they got too many man. I'm going to say, okay, this is actually beyond the media reportage and
okay.
And it will affect a whole lot of other things. So while we are giving government a chance to do the right things by correcting the mistakes which have been done, it appears that I say civil society and other minorities will have their say. But eventually, people will have their way, which will not be the right thing.
Because me bisa special purpose and one can
and no, Huna, because that letter in itself is illegal. The Minister of Finance has no power to reconstitute the concession. The concession is supposed to have been something in the.
But the special civil society for to say IES for no. My contact Ministry of Finance bisa say letter where a genuine minister if you must
or the letter no they call Parliament.
Okay.
And ohona epieliki by because ono concession na nkantia say no say ono finance minister if say onim obia o concession no mo that's how it's supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
Say ono finance minister no concession no omo ye foreigners omo ye Ghana for but omo ni track bia.
Okay.
Ono onim omo nim no.
Okay.
I mean officially.
Okay.
He's not supposed to even know who is to be concerned about when you cry when you cry sign when you cry and then fan ho.
Okay.
And Tiabano say na obi anka o de supervisor just supervise the process, make sure we get the right person. Now you are now interested in the composition of the shareholding. Already PDS no SPV already. PDS no a special purpose vehicle.
Okay.
Because it consists of Meralco.
Okay.
It consists of TG Energy Solutions.
Okay.
Santa Baron.
Okay.
And TGS.
Okay.
And Tiano Ankasa no a special purpose vehicle.
Okay.
Already.
Okay.
So on what grounds then is the finance minister, who is not supposed to even no, I was saying one woman need track beyond selecting them, do your work. I feel that you are not interested in creating some special purpose vehicle out of another special purpose vehicle.
Say be I fancy be ni say omumi insane. Omuntimi raise $580 million say a problem. Nti ene ye reconstitute na say ene ebi mu de dawson. Nti enu because o number of shares no and o percentage of shares na be share the equity capital you are supposed to provide. Nti say sa dia ene ye san chiche mu foforo na mo de dawson na sun hwinhwan so that mu dawson a kakran ye betimi anya equity capital na ye pe.
Baby I fa fro no. One e fa sane.
Okay.
So if you think that you have made a mistake by allocating the shares to people who are incapable or incompetent or not fit for purpose financially, what you do is that you come back the same way you selected them and get new people who are fit for purpose. Because now it is like you have selected them, they are not capable. You are now looking for ways and means to manage the mess. So let us reconstitute and bring in, as I've heard, seconds, other people. Go back. It is a process because process no in the legal process. I say PDS concession, say an termination process no. One for more, we na judgment data. And if you think that you selected the wrong companies as a result of the output you are seeing, the best thing is for you to go back, abrogate the whole thing. Because they are unable to meet it, and there is evidence to show they are unable to meet it. Then you open it competitively and select people who are in charge. The last point I want to make to and it's very important.
Easy pa before we make it our last point. Na kebe easy pa so beka say Santa Baron TG solution mo amoka ho ya abrogate mo so mo contract no na yesan ye bibia foforo. Remember what the kan ka say na time so time no ya ben nti na be possible sir within that short time near
you can't also sacrifice time. You can't use time as an excuse for you to do the wrong thing, which will cost the nation more in the long term. Now the other thing consideration is that when you are doing concession, when you say power sector is a very sensitive sector, a biaba or ne headache, and on sector you 9 ministers from 2000 to now. 9 ministry do nipa 3 pen ministry 4. But energy sector, nipa 9 ministries from 2000 to now. So it means that almost like every year, minister, but 1 or 2 years you get 1 minister. So it is sensitive. Now, when you are selecting the process concessionaires, and you select politicians, for example, and for say MP for second D, is in the company which holds 28%. For example, what it means is that the B. Aban bet maba na dum so na ya artificial because obi pese onya advantage politically.
Menchase.
PDS. 49 Meralco, 51% local partners. In selecting no, I was selected companies and locals e ba na manosema.
Omo send him.
Omo ye businessmen. Omo dream o mine no. Omo usika no, omo nimdia no.
Oh, so we businessmen na metiase, omo usika na metiase, omo nimdia na metiase, but o ka say omo edwon mine ho. Ade amanyofo de omo edwon mine.
You know they a discussion for another day.
Mikdad. Man, sakra me hu de person.
Na say o select companies and penny for omo politicians for example. Na say enfo no say aban foforo bi aba. Enfo no say PPP aba. Ana say CPP aba, na say NDC aba. And aban biaba. Na omo shares no. Any say, for example, omo ni a friend is saying they are not the ones holding the power sector. It means that those who are holding it, who belong to a different political tradition, can create artificial doom so. For example.
Oh, but say or 1 out of 4 groups.
No.
It's better no nkwa ka say me anas obedum ni area na.
There be 51% local content.
Yes.
And who select here? People will expect you to select independent individuals because Kamara is a power sector na be politics so. So one should niya na kana afi pro government against government, and it becomes difficult to get the middle ground. So when you are selecting and you select people who are politically exposed individuals, you give room for speculation. It will be a time that doom so will happen. People will be mentioning a Japanese name, for example.
Oh, only for example, very weak arguments.
Well, 51% local content ownership no. Very critical. That is why most of the companies pulled out. Because only say or the investment or investment by 49%. It means that when the 3 local Ghanaian companies whose individual investment is less than his, when they come together and vote, the major investor, has no say. So most of them pulled out because of that. So the 51%, a weak argument, a very valid argument, because they control the highest level. A board meeting now, they hold 51% of the votes. They can turn decisions around. Okay. So, and only the speculation. So going forward, there's a need for government to inspire confidence in the whole process by making it very transparent. In executing the other part of the concession, the compact, fee.
Okay.
Because it's not the only one we are doing here, 1 out of 6. Okay. We inquire just the first one. So if you are making mistakes in the first one, what lessons are you learning from that one? Okay. So that if you move to, let's say, regulation, the compact on regulation and on access and on NEDCO, you can make it better. So,
Mukase Abai make a detail of beneficial owners. So now,
well, no, then clear.
And you're clear, baby.
Beneficial owners, me, in Pennyfor, Mudidi, BBH. And no, Mremuno, Ewo, say, if I say, company be, if I say specialized media. But me na misika wom. But me de me bina adie nim.
Okay.
But eba no sika sama me na me support to. Mranum no uko US mo mranu wo say e wo say ye disclose me a me tip echira na me support to them and wo interest wo mu no.
Na so why you CDO director?
Me na me ka kire wo she echire enye odi na e wo so.
Okay.
Obi di na e wo ho but wo ho usika e wo interest wo.
Okay.
And ebi wo PDS nsensem we mu.
Oh sir,
ebi wo bebre.
How? Na me feel say you 3 companies.
Oh, ebi wo Japan Mesa kra ama hint only that he's not forthcoming. But ye Ghana mra no.
No. Say
mpenifo bi di echiri.
I don't understand.
Ono o ka say o say obi na contracting no crofo bi na etina say contracting no so nkoti company.
So you ever find say in company formation, say yes on my professional we say you lawyer ne dia, and uncle boy no take keke dia, and ever find so a promoter.
On say in law no mutimi e bi say, mutimi ba lawyer ho say te company man.
Or take company no we are
now we're free. But we obuso and now he spoke on one of your media platforms. So I say in 2014 we be friend no, say on take company. Na ono take company no and they hand you over. Now he didn't even know that they were even bidding for ECG concession until the minority leader called him. Say, Honorable Japa, me who didn't document about parliament say approval. But the na only found. Also no say Ohona ofre other parties so say I don't know be there man country me. He said this. He said this on authority.
I fro baby I'll be to me.
No that tape no crowd ho. And so can City FM.
Okay.
On one account. Until they are beneficial owners.
Until more ayes for most
who are the beneficial owners? Oko US I think Ghana in by I think almost say by September to December there will be a register of beneficial owners as part of the Companies Act.
And a new one now, amended one. Okay.
So we are very sensitive though. We easy we crank and idea any sensitive crank a bit mama ako. Because a lot of things happen in this country. It's not everything that Ghanaians get to hear about it. So, but ECG we know.
Same see a Ghana for Ghana so monte.
Bebre ECC. But ECG know you're very sensitive.
As a Ghana for that so monte go abonte.
Ghana for
Mikdad. Me say. As a Ghana for that na so monte go abonte. Aka energy homes and some any LNG tema contracts. On sense I go shame before the DH3 e bi wo okwa say oni post government mu. But na reading wo ho ana sa ninu bi din wo ho oka and minua de wontimi business ana sa na kokoso but this we no I know the intimate case it should be business as usual because I know no me can eduma meninje so we have to fight a fight for future generations and ourselves. So if we think something is going wrong we can't simply
sit back.
I then say omonya bank guarantee na man said the nyeme kono ye jai sa dum so besin aba na cause ti said the na no me papa loyalty kikan bebrebe nyina de ehwehwa ne se beda beso ne de nka ne asi so ne bo nso nye den moro so
basically
ne bo so nye den enu so hia papa kan ye ni si so na fe ne bo so nye den moro so ne se bedru ba bia fe de wo kwa ne atum fe de okoto ahwere de na ahye okoto ahwere de na ahye ti sa ne ma mienu we na ne hia Ghana for pa nti se ne whoever owns what, whoever has whatever percentage the ode bank guarantee by the ode insurance guarantee by ye yenhwem ho wo de o se ye da ya da na ye na egu abonti a wo de na ni ngu abonti na emom no yenya nkane ano a ne bo no so reasonable.
And that is the reason why we are even on all of this matter. Say unya company a e osa nko no ode sika tum ansa na what generate because I don't know so one for sika tum a you cannot you cannot assure Ghanaians that you are even going to produce a reasonable power because an investment who invest say $580 million no na US government and so they $480 million no ba or more than no back ba o de no we invest within the system by the end of the 20th year no obenya amfaso ama no abroso and investment no so be ma leakages no system no sometimes leakage no because of transform be ahead that omuntimi
yeah
because of some lines be a grid ko say maintain it is so invest no na ama power cost no abafom because you are not making losses in transmission but where the investment you are making itself is not there you are not able to even get the money for the guarantee it means that you cannot even assure the customer that he can get reduced power because one investment no sikano ni ho in the first place
okay
the money for you to invest to make the system more robust to get reduced power is not there.
Okay.
So how can you guarantee the public that they will get reduced power?
Your time no yaso. Ye born upon ni ebisa say dede ye ye eni ni aye ken. And so bibi pe bibi tumi afi na azetaba. Ebekwa akosi ye nsen.
Me the medical aka say I have little confidence in the outcome of the investigation based on the composition.
Okay.
Because the intention should have been clear. Say we are willing to recuse the people who were part of the discussion that brought us to this point. And only Mikdad, and only finance ministry, and only energy ministry. But so the investigation team no more so it creates doubt about the intentions of the process. We have advised, and I want to maintain again that the best thing to do right now is to withdraw this concession. For especially
local
the local
partners, including Miracle.
Local partners in particular, and get in their place, or you open it and now be as transparent as possible. Then you select people who are fit. So
it's not a matter of suspension. Yempe actual abrogation as a termination.
Yes, because anka yeah, we wrote, petitioned, our counterparts except did the same thing. No one listened. No one. The signs were clear right from December.
Oh, yeah, sure. Say no one listened because any omuti yentina it may have come late. Maybe a time na mo kano. Adrena ankoso, adrena mantem. But omuti yentina mo say no. Adie isi kase mo nkoso anya. Because you have say and yen wa abas because politics so maybe ni say opposition so asomu dendende. Isi ka ba betimi aka say o de yenja ni sana yenye no katasumu mu aso ase.
Eno kra de anka de eba nim no amoye no saa hu. Anka de eba nim na anka be hu mo.
How?
Ana oni pa no guarantee. Waji revenue 5 months. 5 months no. ECG revenues no. Afibia you get between busumi bia between 80 million to 100 million. And they have not even accounted for that in the first place. And to be only guarantee, why did you seek 5 months? It will have meant that by the end of the year, without a guarantee, we'll have been facing a full-blown deceit. If I don't want to even use the word fraud. Because first, February 18th, we warned you, our counterparts warned you, even Kopekra, but so when nothing happened, it created the impression
that is why they have
it is even late. It is even way late in coming. It is even too late in coming. 5 months revenue.
Better late than never. What about that?
Well, in governance, better late than never can cost lives. can cost taxpayers money.
Okay.
So when we are doing better late than never in governance, then we can leave it for kindergarten kids.
Hey.
Because in governance,
so nipa so na what governance nipa na government ni nipa so na ye inform so we bia wante ana wa hu ni ntama fe na wa hu e no se no mama ntu ana mo na me correct mistake
oh yeah hu denti a make no say no this is the time in the energy sector yeah civil society nipa na ministry hon
yeah
it has never happened since 2000 even to from 92 say we civil society have our own people in the sector in charge of the Ministry of Energy, for example. So we expect them to... In the person
of...
Oh, ora me una okaya ho think tank.
Okay.
Na, I mean, Antano okaya ho think tank.
Okay.
So, but it appeared that since they got there, every single advice you give, they throw it away. They go and meet a roadblock and come back. America, the same thing happened. And this particular one. So when you have your own people there, you give them advice. Look, guarantee is not forthcoming. Make sure you receive the guarantee before you go ahead with the agreement. Then they still went ahead. So it created the impression. It is part of the reasons why there was speculation. I said, ideally, these people will listen. But they're not listening now. What is the difference? Is it that there is an agenda to favor this particular group of people or what? But when you give all of this advice, you don't listen and the speculation goes rife, you then come back to the discussion and say, well, if we have now come back to the realization, say, we must do the right thing, we must investigate, you must put aside the people who are part of the problem. Then we can...
honestly, Osha, why mu ne better because ebi omu if it's almost no the know-how. Ye kan sikasem, ye kan ujamhoden. So obviously, I'm be for energy ministry for obviously, I'm be for finance ministry for. Since I'm say, oh, and say nkrofo mu feed this part ebema, and can why mu no mo for mu investigation.
In the first place, even parliamentary inquiry possible.
All right.
Parliamentary, omo approval agreement in the first place, and the agreement no mo approve you know, and you no so na mo implement you.
Okay.
Because before by the implementation, they are changed things in the agreement. Parliament approved, and only. Bank guarantee insurance.
Okay.
Parliament approved.
And companies in so 4.
4.
And it became 3.
Baku de 10%. No baku na 20. And so all of these are breaches, which if you want to investigate, you must get bodies which were not part of the decision process because Parliament, I can say that Parliament did not approve of what they did. So you can even take it back to them. For them to investigate, you can get the insurance experts and the financial experts to join the discussion and the investigation. But who we now, because finance minister, no nominate Bimbra. Oh, what are we doing to ourselves?
And kind of young forgetting young code if we say any ye beka enkusiaga.
What I foresee.
Omo suspend you omuya. Yasia from we say suspension in West. Ya no kekene. Ya suspend you but no criminal suspension we uncle so.
Oh, it's likely to continue.
Na say say ye nyai kasa no ni nkomodi efi say said ye tie sa na ebeye.
No, me basically I've resolved in all our advocacy as a think tank. Say now we don't even communicate to influence government policy again, because increasingly you write petitions. Even sometimes even the minority even does the same thing to the right people and warn them. Maybe sometimes say oh ucha esa who say we chacha.
Okay.
Obi which no bit me say oh I say acha. Oh yeah omo fiu. Okona ehho ba asem na okobo mechia na omo say o time So now what we do is to educate the Ghanaian out there. What does this mean for your power? So when the Ghanaian understands what is at stake, maybe when the Ghanaian applies pressure to the right people, then they begin to do the right things. But so far, it appears like have your say, but we always have a way.
Much churches say, the cosway, a bedroom baby, a betim the doom sava.
Or possible. For example, if anything a guarantee no here no, if one say any PDS are back, omoje revenue all right, omoje no pepe. But because of some operational expenses, omoje into your IPPs no. IPPs no make trap or power no. Because they were only PDS for signing agreement only ACD for signing as part of the condition precedent. Omo agree say the IPPs must agree to deal with PDS, even though the agreement was signed
with ECG.
The power purchase agreement was signed with ECG. They must agree to deal with PDS.
Okay.
With the condition that PDS is coming with a different mindset.
Okay.
They'll pay you promptly.
Okay.
Because investments are coming in and all of that.
Okay.
But the backup to the investment, backup na ewo Emma investment, any guarantee no. And say mpo PDS for boso so no movement to kakra. Bank guarantee which be the amamo. And say bank guarantee ni ho na intime amfa bank guarantee ni ho na PDS for intime to IPP for no. What do you think will happen?
Do so say mo chire say Ghana for e bedu da chin bi dum so betumi aba say a na ye be den. No,
you see even sometimes when say the force of public opinion say ordinary Ghanaian being very informed about an issue and being able to take his phone and communicate about it on either his Facebook page or as a texter to a show, it influences government policy that this is what the people are thinking.
Okay.
Because the people are informed. Then government aligns itself. Into say na petition akona untia. Say enuanum esep na akona untia. Now the Ghanaians are talking because we educated them and they are making meaningful inputs in governance and decision making.
I see. Great. I come in 5 minutes. Be quickly. Oh, Mikdad Mohammed, we research analyst. Ewo IS. One why into Krana. I was say will be you for our serious. Who are you?
Well, my age, most of my work in IES is more of even downstream because that's where even my experience is.
Okay.
My age or Bust, for example, we have done downstream petroleum work.
Oh,
and we do research. VRE, we have done some consultancy for VRE.
Okay.
About no Motema plants.
Okay.
Researcher, Ejuma.
Okay.
And my boss is actually the one who is well versed in power sector because he has actually worked in VRE.
Mr. Mwasechiana.
Mr. Ono, why Ejuma or VRE, that why Ejuma or Goldfields there. So all of us have catchment. We have someone who is also upstream. Ono, why Ejuma will become huge.
Okay.
So everyone has the field. The thing about this one is that if you understand financial modeling, or share the whole Ghana, for example, most of energy ministers, with the exception of Amewu and Dr. Otinyeji, most of them didn't even study energy. Orajinapo, he didn't study energy.
No, you're deputy.
Yes, deputy, for example, no, Boche Jakon, banking.
Okay.
So if we expect to be any Ghanaian who applies himself to learning, for example, MPA boss Asantampuli, ono wanye bibi energy, or ye bibi no LLMB in energy. But when you apply yourself, you understand the accounting, the financial modeling. You should be able to undertake any serious, vigorous research in the system.
Oh, okay. Enti uko school ufi na UDBP or IES.
Well, me call Prempeh College.
Oh, okay. And your mom for?
Yeah, mom for.
Mama in body.
But unfortunately, me tree in your papa.
Kumasi boy now tree in your papa.
Me tree in your papa.
And one call a soya boy kono mu anko pe fufu bi anyo.
Na adwato. And from Prempeh College na me call University of Ghana.
Okay.
Me call University of Ghana na me Sajensa. Me information studies at University of Ghana.
Okay.
And my son was Sajensa, Center for Gender Studies and Advocacy. And then research.
Okay.
Research which me
okay.
And even at that time, I did a lot of work with Bust. Now me on contracts. We reviewed the contracts and archived them. That is when I developed an interest in the energy sector.
Oh, I
and
see.
I'm a national service, so I'm saying to us, Akransana, me feel about IES. In IES, most of the work I do there is on fuel price projections. Say fuel price call. So I say, but from say it's not a BH now based on those price builder factors and market indicators. No.
Okay.
Now, me say most of the time I prefer to keep my moves under the table. Me say energy economics. So we are.
Home school ana.
Me home school. And certainly there if anyone. I meet a lot of people because me a lot of activism, student politics, and other activists.
And yes, our politics answer now practice because policy think tank for no sometimes abaye muwa mono muso mo interest.
Most definitely.
Aban bi wo so amobebo mu a Aban bi so eba na mayedin.
I know there no crepa obia wo interest or represented.
Okay.
Obia no, most definitely. But the most important thing is say ebano or minor some things that you have to put the country first. You don't do petty partisan bickering on it.
Who said Ghana say no partisan politics no abrofono ni omo te brofo say are so polarized into or mine with ya and bibia politics.
Me, I've actually lost faith in the political system.
I see.
I've actually lost faith in the political system.
You shouldn't be talking.
And the whole thing only amount for kasa when you talk to people. And sometimes because I mean you have been this amount for bidding because some who TV so kasa be brave. People will tell you what they are going through and all. So I've revolved from looking at governance from what comes to me. Abembi wa hobit maba na me ho atome. But se me ho tome na obi hu ekomde no refer me wo e de to be simi so say or Jimsika because things are not well for that person, then the good governance, did we go or did we come? So increasingly, think tanks have an interest, most definitely. But as much as possible, we must strive to align ourselves with the aspirations of the people. Now, so what is a think tank? Kasa. They are speaking, a think tank is speaking. And the manner of speaking, it appears as if that some particular agenda is being portrayed with the people of Ghana's interest missing. Then you should know that that think tank is not speaking for the people. It is speaking for an interest.
Most of the time,
for example, say think tanks and some see it's me free. Say you cannot say and I say you cannot say based on the interest has taken. But but it will be up to you to know where you are getting your funding from. If you are getting funding from UKAID, you don't need a politician for anything. And now why should you go and pander to the politicians?
So interest international organizations so almost
most of the international organizations interest will not relate much to our local petty partisan politics. Mostly obi o ha enfa no say ne interest ne say ma yedie ebekoso enfa ho say oba no ye MPP na NDC ono de ni na say oba bia ne interest because so they will give you funding to do research.
Mikdad unfortunately the diaconso ya ni piti ya ha na ne ye de enkomo ni besi na said ya ye die obi besie we pray say we be fee investigations in more abba. Mikdad Mohammed Institute of Energy Security as research analyst and the PDS ne ECG in sense 7 ho enkomo. Latest updates any shasi no pay no nsia bri ni mu no me de to mo ni mo say PDS for no I suspended wo mo no na ECG for asan frɛ wo mo say omanfo ye ni wo maka bom ni ye twokrata ya ma monsem twofo montom petema omanfo aso nte se dwumadie na wo mo si ye medie no aban si ye medi fi se wa suspend PDS te se ye de bill e ba ye be ready meters ye disconnection ye reconnection ni sa niam ani nyina no ye sansi PDS for ni ye nti na me de sha sembisa Mikdad se asiche ni se no se asiche ni se suspension ne de ya no fafa ye de ano na adonwe na de bi be wo ye nda nti PDS no kwasiko no wotem kwantia sayo ne sayo krobi so ampisi ya sa kawo osi yeso anso osi yeso companies me nsa no wo mu da so ginim nti wadwan ne say ya suspend your mo Mikdad say in words but we live to see nti de wo ho a enu no oba no wankwa wo jiwani so nti ye de besi ha ya da Mikdad ya si na madadia decency collection ase se enne wa mame mase hajia amanfo se o ya fata munye na mo fa me nkobeka Dr. Ukubu atin Russia den basi mate me da se pa nti oso betimi amadia decency collection ashawata de salabre emu efina akosi Monday no no ani se obeko Instagram be hu dia decency collection wo ho DIYA na oni wo mudi nkita ho betumi kra ma dispatch rider de apre obetumi so ene wo mo a chat va WhatsApp ana wa frɛ won mo 0246898630 na senkenye se dia fonti ene mabo dukuya ana say tebana enka obehuan se na me hyenwi fefefe me hye ne sanso dia J Essentials ono so Instagram J_emrante ne maba watitiriwa mo Instagram me kana matiase J na wo de dash na da form no aba Essentials na wo de double S atwato na obehu se nwi a efe wo ho pa obetumi so ahwehwe no East Legon Malibu Avenue and also say friend was 024363903 on so to me and then a chat so bet you the abaso the trendy the fair water kills na say ne was no now so to me ashibina or the ajo high five unhusa say nails no be fe now be massage wabre be say atwetwe pe say ye wani facial pe say we show lash ye bibia na usiesi ho fefe kama mpacho cause studio fix ebe yama fefe kama pa on me nude nails no mani age ho studio fix for ene mami onu mo jolo or E Plaza 2 na bronsign na best pension trust no best pension trust was show and a studio fix ewo ase for 02029665553 and a 0243846 now on fix so and my all occasions me sorry so ye dear me nua be mo hene amponsan se me ma na dofo e bade kadisala ma wo mo o hene de da bi oba nso oba late enti bade kadisala to you Farouk Asare amponsan owo suhum aye koche suhum aye koche and afi Ibrahim Babangida amponsan wo University of Ghana Legon and Asare Abubakar amponsan owo suhum timunyina o hene amponsan se Oma mobade kadisala into to our Muslim friends and colleagues Mofia Sadat Mustafa Munkaila Alaji Yellowman and Muamma Kanina Yama mobade kadisala and Yakramani Yamiaduma Bachana Kwame Adekye 47 at the Nsroma Saturday edition no Ebebremo Yakram